Hi, Olivia. All right, this video is on the parable of the mustard seed. Hope you can hear me. It's a bit windy out here. So, let's start with, if you have faith, even as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains, all right? And many of us are discouraged because we're sure we have at least that much faith and things don't move. So let's look at the scriptures here and coordinate and tie in and dig in to why. Hi, Gray. Sorry, we may have a few interruptions here. They like hanging out with me. So, the Lord showed us how to pray when he had the two disciples with him. And he said, you stay here and pray. I'm going to go out here. And you stay awake for 1 hour. And he came back and they were asleep. He was very upset. He came back 3 times and found them sleeping. And he said, how long must I put up with you of little faith? Now, we were already told that little faith is okay, even as small as a mustard seed. So why isn't that working? Let's look at some other things. The parable of the mustard seed, right? Well, we need to dig in. Keep in mind, this is never topical. He covers up as he goes, and then he shows us what to do after even. He covers up, and then he shows us, and he covers it up. So, the 2 or more are gathered in his name, and he is there. Just like he was asking his disciples to do. Picture those as the mustard seeds, okay? A mustard plant is not just a single seed hanging on that plant. It is within a pod. And when it matures, it's filled with seeds, and then it overflows. It goes onto the ground, the good ground, and then becomes a plant that literally reproduces thousands and thousands of seeds per plant. And of course, with that kind of faith, you can move mountains. So we need to be like the seed pod on the mustard plant. And he was telling us how to pray when he asked his disciples to pray with him. And then he said, the flesh is weak, the spirit is willing. We, the flesh, need to be drawing together as one body or one seed pod. Okay? He was showing us exactly how to do this. And he spreads it out, and we have to tie things together to see what's going on. So, when we get discouraged hearing, just a mustard seed size faith is fine, you can move mountains. Obviously, that's not exactly what is being said, or we would all be moving mountains all day long. I think we need to face the facts of that. We need to be one body, just as the mustard plant is the analogy for that. In fact, the perfect analogy for proper prayer, growth, and the moving of mountains. It's a matter of us literally finding people that are mustard seeds and drawing together and falling on that ground and reproducing more mustard seeds. If we do that, yes, mountains move. They are thrown into the sea in an instant. The Lord asked his disciples to pray with him. But yet he walked away and came back finding them asleep. He's showing us what to do and what not to do. He's showing us that while he is away, literally you can't see him, but he's there, not to fall asleep in your flesh. The Spirit has to overtake the flesh here. We have to be one. You have to be one mustard seed. If that makes sense. Your flesh and your spirit have to become one. The Spirit has to overtake the flesh, and then you are one mustard seed. That's where it also ties in that where there are two or more gathered, he is there. And say one or more, two or more. And where the two are, they become one. You have to overcome your flesh. And I strongly suggest, and I did this in Hawaii, and they shut me down lickety-split on the internet. I had a prayer group that had agreed to pray at certain times, even though some of us were in different so-called time zones. You know, I don't agree with that. But if it's 7 in the morning here and it's 7, or let's say whatever time it is somewhere else, you still set your clock and agree to wake up regardless of you're sleepy or not, and pray in unity, which was what he was showing us how to do, how to become that mustard seed, that mustard plant that flourishes, and how literally a mustard seed can, when it's grown up, can move mountains. He couldn't have shown us any clearer how to do this. He didn't say to his disciples, okay, I'm going to go out here and you pray whenever you want. He said, pray with me for 1 hour. And all through the Bible, many times it's in that hour someone was healed. Unity, that seed pod of those mustard seeds, the seed pod being the body, the mustard tree or plant itself being the Lord, producing these fruits that reproduce in a great abundance. Because when acts of faith have been acknowledged and cannot be denied by others, that makes other people's faith just blossom. So when you read these things, dig in deeper.